Yeah. Welcome, as always, to Live from Fayettenam, live from the 2-6, home of Afion Crockett, J. Cole, Michael Williams Jr., Dennis Smith Jr., Bone Crusher Smith, L.A., Dennis L.A. White. The list goes on and on and on. I'm joined, as always, by the one and only Paul Masson. Mr.
Cheers.
J, yep, Parmesan, the Fayetteville 2-6 historian, Mr. J. And we got a special guest this week. My man, you can check him out, his latest single, Supremo, everywhere you get music. Latin Looney. What's up, Latin?
What it do? What it do? What it do?
So, as always, I want to start it out. First of all, gentlemen, hey, it's good to see y'all this week. I'm glad to see y'all made it through the rough week in the city and didn't get sniped. Several people did not make it this week. Uh, so shout out to y'all. Hey, what kind of week you have, Paul? Man, what kind of week did you have, sir?
Busy week, busy week. A lot of Circle Kings interviews, a lot of uploading live from Fayettenam shorts, Paul Pickett podcast shorts, Circle King shorts, shorts. Man, what can I say? I'm a short guy.
Hey,
That's the motion
Mr.
right now,
J,
man.
man.
Sure.
Yeah, no doubt. Mr. J, man. What about you this week, man? How you feeling?
I'm good, man. Still pushing the Underground Experience documentary, still putting things together, still got some blog hits coming up. Still pushing my album that's been out for a while, one heartbeat away. So just keeping things moving.
My man, the 2-6 historian, Mr. J, as always, here to keep us straight. Hey, and special salutations and Feliz Navidad to our special guest this week, Latin Looney, man. What's up, man? How was your week, brother? What you got popping?
Hey, man, not too much. Had a couple features. I recorded this week. I did one with Oso and Legendary Snipe. I always stay working on my music. Been talking to you. You know what I'm saying about getting on here, man. So this is a dope opportunity, man. I appreciate y'all having me on here. I always feel like I got something to say. So, man, I'm just glad to be here, man. And we've been busy, stay working. That's what we do.
Yeah, man, you definitely got a voice in the 2-6 for sure. Been in the scene for several years, making it pop. And big ups to you for all the work you've been doing. Also on the Circle of Kings with P at the Triple P Studios, getting it ready. We polishing that up. But
Oh,
I
yeah.
want to waste no more time, man. As people always like to say, we don't want to waste too much time. We're gonna get right into the topics. So the first topic we're gonna get into is the best year of hip hop album releases, man. The best year you believe that, and make sure that you share, comment, like below, and give us your opinions. I'd like to start out tonight with Mr. J, the historian of the show. Mr. J, man, what you think best year of hip hop releases, man?
I started off with 94. 94 had Big. We had a few different ones come out. The Coup. There's a lot of big time releases that came out that year. Even with some smaller names, like a lot of classic material from like hieroglyphics, casual stuff like that.
I mean, yeah, no doubt, Mr. J. Just to name a few. I mean, but that was Illmatic came out that year. Not to mention J. Rule, The Damager came out that year. I mean, lots of great Scarface, The Diary, 94. So I'm
The
sorry, go
Diary, yeah.
ahead. Yeah, so you starting out with 94. What are your top 3 years? Or do you have a top 3 years?
It could be 94, 88, and 96. Of course, that was the year, we had the passing of, Big and Pop between 96 and 97. So, all those big things came out. You had, I think, not Doggy Style, but another Snoop album dropped somewhere in there. And you had other people basically had to push their albums back because of everything that was going on.
Well, no doubt, man. Let's kick it over to our special guest, Latin Looney, man. What do you think, man? The dopest year for releases of albums for you, man?
See, with me, man, I'm gonna say it's a little bit difficult just because I guess in
That's what
my
we here
age
for.
era,
We here to fuck.
in my
We here
age
to
era.
fuck with the difficult shit.
So to me, honestly, bro, I'm not really too sure if it was 2006 or 7 when Wayne dropped Carter 3, but to me that was the year because it was not only him. I think Kanye dropped that year. Um, who else dropped that year? See, because I'm like I said, don't get me wrong, I love '90s hip hop. You know what I'm saying? All that, but I
Well, hey
didn't
man,
really
this
grow
is
up listening to it.
hey, not to cut you off, Looney, but yeah, this is about your opinion, man. We all hold different opinions. That's what we love about it. That's what hip hop is. Best
So I
thing
want
about this
to
shit is
I want to say the 2005 to 2008 era was like when I feel like dropping the best hip hop albums to me.
no doubt, no doubt. So, of course, I'm gonna bring it over here to the Prime Minister, the guru behind the boards, P. Paul Masson, man. What you think, man? What you got?
I gotta agree with Mr. J. 94, and I gotta go back to
I mean, how
94.
can
I mean, you got Nas, like you said. You got Biggie. Outkast dropped that year. Organized Confusion. I mean, you had Common Resurrection. Of course, you said the Scarface. Gangstar Hard to Earn. You said Pete Rock. Method Man and
Warren G.
Redman both. Redman and Method Man both dropped their solos that year. Forgot about OC Word Life. You got the Diggable Plan.
and
I mean,
Warren
you got
G.
huge.
Regulate. Warren G. Regulate was
Warren
that year
G.
too.
Yeah, he's at the very top of the list, and they had a hit, a bona fide hit. UGK dropped that year. OC Word Life. You even got
Wow.
a two. You got a Tupac Thug Life Volume 1. The Beat
Yeah.
Nuts. We got the Beat Nuts that year. Keith Murray dropped his solo that year. I mean, you got MOP, Artifacts, MCA. I mean,
It's
the
hard to
list
argue
goes
against
on, man.
94. It's hard to argue
It,
against 94.
the
It just
Fugees
it
dropped
just
their
it
the
just
Blunted
sucks for
on
me because I
Reality.
was 3 years old in '94, man.
And I know, hang on, hang on. Well, yeah, absolutely. We're going to talk about some years when I was young too. But Pete, go ahead, please continue, man, with that.
I mean, I'm not
94.
even
Okay, so you
done,
got
man.
94. Yeah.
You got West Coast albums. You got West Coast albums like Spice One, Murder Was the Case. You got Craig Mack, Funk the
Oh
World.
shit.
I mean, Craig Mack, Funk the World. LL Scratch dropped that year. Bone Thugs and
Yeah.
Harmony. Bone Thugs
Oh
and
wow.
Harmony. I mean,
Yeah, 94
Master
was
P.
crazy.
Master P. You
How did
know,
we afford all those albums? We definitely bootleg most of those albums.
and for those Lords of the
I'm just kidding.
Underground, Keepers of the Funk, and you got Slick Behind Bars. And to finish it off for all you 3-6 Mafia fans, you got a 3-6 Mafia album. I mean, you had Down South albums, West Coast albums, Up North albums,
Up top albums. Yeah, 94 is hard to argue
Midwest
against.
with Bone Thugs, and 8 Ball and MJG.
And Bone Thugs went like 3 times platinum that year or some shit.
There was a lot of
So,
competition that year,
okay,
man.
so 94, okay, P. So 94, what about you? I know you got more than 94. So what's your top three?
94 to 96, probably.
I mean, well, so, of
94,
course,
95, and 96.
so I'm gonna bring in the rear right here and say it's hard to argue against the golden era of hip hop, which was, the 90s. You know what I'm saying? But for me, I got a top three. It's 94, 93, and 88, right? I mean, you've said 94, all the great albums that came out. It's hard to say anything against that. 93, you had Enter the Woo, you had Midnight Marauders, you had Doggy Style, you had Cypress Hill's Black Sunday, you had Black Moon, Enter the Stage, Easy E's 187 Killer, you had De La Soul's Balloon, Mind State. I mean, you think about this, guys, the era that we live in right now, where, oh, that's a dope single, and that's a dope single, and that's a dope short. These were entire classic albums that
That was
came
true.
out in the same calendar year, guys. This is what hip hop
Yeah.
was when it really was moving popular culture. Now it's just a thing. It's a TikTok. It's one of the many. You might have a country artist do it too. Uh, and then of course 88, man. We sleeping. I was just a kid too. Like you say, Looney. Uh, while I might have been 11, I was a kid too. But it's hard to overlook 88 when you got PE, It Take a Nation of Millions. You got Slick Rick's Great Adventure, BDP, By Any Means Necessary, EPMD Strictly Business. Big Daddy Kane, Older Kane, NWA, Straight Outta Compton, Eric B. and Rakim Power Leader, Ice T Power, UMC with Critical Break, Beatdown, and then DJ Jazzy Jeff. So, I mean, 88, it was a crazy year because we needed that year then too. We were a fringe genre at that point as far as mainstream music was concerned. So, uh, anybody got any closing arguments before we move to the next topic? I'm gonna go to Latin Looney first. You got any closing argument on here?
Nah, man, nah. Like I said, I can't argue with any of y'all because a lot of my favorite songs are from the '90s, are from the '80s. You know what I'm saying? Like Easy is big in my playlist. Just I'm from Cali, so I'm Easy's definitely a must. So like, nah, man, I respectable decisions.
No doubt, Mr. J.
Yeah, man. Like I said, '88 is definitely a powerful year because you had Jungle Brothers, you had all these different groups. I think you might say within the 2010s because um, you have J. Cole, you have some other people coming out as far as like that, but it's kind of on the edge, I guess.
Honorable mention before I go to Paul here. Honorable mention to '98 because '98 you had Jurassic 5, you had DMX with both the number one albums in the same year. It's Dark and Hell's Hot and Flesh of My Flesh. You had Lauryn Hill drop Miseducation. '98, if you're gonna go like that was a really strong year. You had Tribe with Love Movement. I mean, that was a crazy year. So '98, sorry, man. And to you, Paul, real quick before we move on to the next topic, man.
I mean, I don't really got no arguments and no pushbacks on anything, man.
I mean, '94 was. Jeez.
Quick step in for it's 2005 because 2005 you had Late Registration, the documentary, like you said, the Carter. You had B from Common, you had the Minstrel Show, and you had Thug Motivation, and then you had the Becoming from BD Siegel, and Trill from Bun B. So that's some big
And
ones.
see, what's crazy to me is that the year after that, UGK dropped, Common dropped. Who else dropped? Man, it's just crazy to me to hear y'all say people from '94 were still dropping, and I was listening to them in 2005, 2006.
The people from '94 are still dropping right now. The arguing Nas dropped some of the most relevant albums of last year. So, all right. So moving on to the next topic, guys. KRS-One as well as Special Ed has came out and they're criticizing the Grammys for invites they received to perform at the 50th anniversary of the Grammys. Now, a lot of us have some background on that. I really want to start this out with Paul, man. I'm really interested to hear what Mr. Masson got to say. What do you got? What's your take on that, P?
First thing, you got the topics out of order, but I'm gonna go ahead and go with it.
Well, no, I did this on purpose. You'll see why I moved this one for real. I wanted to put the other one next on purpose.
Yeah,
but
I
go ahead.
didn't know you was gonna do that because we do the pop-ups of the question.
I'm sorry, it was screwball from face.
Let me start with the special ed part. Special ed was complaining about artists. They were trying to pay artists like half price for the Grammys. And that's crazy. Like, if you performing at the Grammys, you should be getting paid more. First of all, I get Special Ed's great. He was a 15-year-old with an album and a hit record. Not too many of those. But how many? Like, there isn't room for everybody in hip hop to be on one 2-hour show. I know that much. And
not 50 years worth.
Yeah, not 50 years worth. As far as KRS-One goes, pretty much what he says goes in hip hop, as far as I'm concerned. Like, it's hard to argue with KRS-One. If he says fuck the Grammys, then it's fuck the Grammys, man. It's fuck the Grammys. That's pretty much what it is. I can't argue with him.
All right, well, no doubt. Well, Paul Masson, here's the lead of the story. Paul Masson says, if Chris says fuck the Grammys, I say fuck the Grammys too. we're gonna go over to Mr. J, the 2-6 historian. How do you feel about it, Jay?
Well, I'm definitely seeing KRS as one side because he looks at the whole thing, through a corporate lens. Like they didn't honor us then. They still have certain criteria about, honoring certain people now. So why am I going to go out of my way to attempt to go on this stage and basically legitimize something I've been against from Jump Street? My only, I guess, nuance argument about this is if you are a artist that has released any type of music during a certain period of time, you can become a member of the Grammys and kind of change the trajectory of what's going on. So, I mean, while he's fighting from outside, there can be other people who fight from inside, get their Grammy membership and become a voting member and kind of change what's going on.
There's plenty of ways to fight. I will say I did like that Chris said, if you see me at the Grammys, you better watch out because the whole roof about to fall off in this bitch. So if I see him there, I'm a run. Like said, if 3 motherfuckers start running at the Grammys, about 20 of us gonna be running. Like, hey, so Latin Looney, man, what do you think about this?
Man, Mr. J pretty much said it, man. Like it's to me it's kind of hard to dictate from the outside because you don't really know what's going on the inside, if that makes any sense. You don't like I understand where KRS one is he's like, hey yo, like this shit don't, it just stuff ain't adding up. If you look from my point of view, stuff don't add up. And a lot of numbers don't make sense the way that they're making them come out to be. And then like he said, like I'm not about to switch my persona of who I am just to please them to try to be or try to or get in good graces with whoever the fuck is out there. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, fuck that. Like that's not the point or the reason why I started doing what I started doing. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, like, hey man, pay these niggas, bro. That's all I know.
Well, first of all, I mean, I want to say that KRS-One has never done anything for some preconceived notion of doing hip hop. KRS-One is hip hop. Let's be real with this right here. He was there at the very beginning. He shared 1.5 pair of pants with his brother. So fuck y'all. This mother, he deserves the right to say and have whatever attitude he wants to have when it regards to hip hop. I'll say this: the Grammys shunned hip hop for many years. Artists had to boycott hip hop because they were not even televising the hip hop portion of the Grammys for some 15 or 20 years. They were giving the Grammys to Snow and DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince. They weren't honored. At no point in the Grammys history have they honored hip hop. At no point. So why should we honor them? And so I 100% stand with KRS-One. We have our own shows. We have our own awards. The Grammys are not one of them. So from Big Face, a big fuck you to the Grammys and the Oscars too while we're at it. So yeah, that's my thoughts. And just so we're on the same page, here's the nipples because without them, tits would be pointless. Right.
And can I throw this in there? We know good and well next year the Grammy next year, next 5 years, 10 years, the Grammys ain't gonna be doing nothing to honor hip hop.
No, they won't. Jimmy Kimmel will be hosting, and Jimmy Kimmel will be hosting, and they'll be giving G-Eazy the Grammy for Best Hip Hop Album. So no, fuck the Grammys. So
bro, you have to go that low, bro.
Well, ain't no low, man. I mean, we watched them pass by fantastic album after fantastic album. There's nothing to see here. But I want to say this. So we're going on to the next topic. As Paul famously alluded to before the break, I wanted to move this down a little bit because of how our topics are tonight. But so the number 3 topic tonight is, who do you believe is the most famous rapper in the world? And if you gentlemen don't mind, I'm going to start this one off. I'll let y'all relax a little bit. When we talk about famous rapper, to me, It ain't got to be the dopest rapper or the most relevant rapper. It's the most famous rapper. And for my own
Yeah.
anecdote, when I was a young kid, 17, 18 years old, I joined the Navy. And in those 2 years, I saw 47 countries. And I was in West Africa in 96, 97. And the rapper that they knew on the entire West African coast, 7 different countries, was Snoop Dogg. And I will argue that Snoop Dogg, with Martha Stewart adding to his white fame and all the soul playing, and Snoop Dogg may be the most famous rapper in the world. It may be hard to find someone in the world who does not know who Snoop Dogg is. They may not know who Biggie is. They may not know who Jay-Z is, but they know who Snoop Dogg is. So Snoop, I think probably Kanye West is world famous for his antics, not just music, but his billionaire philanthropy, his marriage to Kim Kardashian, his multiple missteps in the public arena. Kanye, probably one of the most famous humans on the planet next to Elon Musk, honestly. And he's a hip hop artist. So he's not just famous, he's a famous human. So, and then I'd say Nas, Tupac, Drake. That's my top five most famous artists. And I would love to hear what you guys elaborate. I'm gonna give the courtesy on this one. I'm gonna go first to Looney, our guest host this week. Latin Looney, man, who's the most famous artist in your mind? What's your list?
Right now, currently, when you say artist to me, like I'm pretty sure that every single one of y'all know who Bad Bunny is. Um,
Yeah.
so right now I have to put Bad Bunny I would have said Snoop because I was there agreeing with you, but like last night I was thinking about that earlier and I was like, nah, bro. It's like everybody knows who Bad Bunny is right now. Like right now, to me, Bad Bunny is probably the one rap artist, and he's not
Well,
even.
I
I
will
wouldn't
say
even really
this. I
consider
don't.
him a
I
rap
don't want
artist.
to cut you off. I will say this. Bad Bunny has the best social media following of probably all of them. The dude is like famous as a soccer player because
He is.
he's famous worldwide, and Spanish is probably the most spoken language on the planet. So back to you. I'm sorry. Back to you, Looney.
No, no, you're good, you're good. But yeah, but I would say Bad Bunny. Then I would say Snoop for sure. And then my third man, I would have to go with Drake, just because of how well known Drake is in the Latin community as well. And that's huge following, man. That is a huge following. But those would be my top three. I would say Bad Bunny, Snoop, and Drake.
No doubt. Mr. Masan, what say you, my white brethren in rap?
Paul Masson.
God damn, this motherfucker is wild, man. Somebody go get this motherfucker, man. Somebody go get it. This see what I fuck
So
with? This is what I fuck with.
all right, so I gotta go with Snoop. Snoop number one. Cause this is the thing.
He's
In order
famous
to
as
be the
fuck,
famous
bro.
in order to be the most famous person, they gotta recognize you too. Like there's people that are like famous, but they could be right next to me and I wouldn't recognize them. And Snoop, everybody's gonna
He can
recognize
go
Snoop.
nowhere. He can go nowhere.
I think Kanye West has got to be top three, and Drake. I think Snoop, Kanye, and Drake got to be like. There's nowhere that they can not go, and nobody knows them.
I can dig that take, Paul. I'm gonna say this before I go to Mr. J. I give everyone if you're from America, then I give everyone the Michael test. There are three people that everyone in the world know, and it's Michael Jordan, Michael Jackson, and Mike Tyson.
Mike Tyson. Yeah.
Okay,
Yep.
those three people. I've been all over the world. I've been to Asia, Europe, and Africa, all over the world. And let me tell you something. All three of those gentlemen are well known. So when you say those things, okay, then I'm saying, yeah, that's the type of fame we talk about here, and some of it ain't hip hop. So, Mr. J, I'm very interested to hear what you got to say about this.
I find it funny nobody ever mentioned Will Smith, the Fresh Prince.
Yo,
Mm.
man,
I
see, this is
mean,
why Mr. J is here.
billion
This is why he's
dollar
here.
Mm.
movies. billion-dollar movies.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
The question
You know what
is,
I'm
and
saying?
this is this, Mr. J. The question is, and I like Mr. J's thinking here because if you go anywhere in the world and say, "Do you know?" they're going to know Will Smith. Mr.
Yeah.
J,
Yeah. Yeah.
back to you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, just dropped what some little answer record not too long ago about the whole entanglement situation, and the book drop from his wife and everything else. You know what I mean? Still showed he had some skills. Of course, he did the hip hop fisty showcase. Um, and he's just all the movies, Wild Wild West, Independence Day, all the MIBs. I
I
mean,
mean, you can't argue with his worldwide fame, and he is a hip hop artist originally. So I don't. He's definitely deserving of being on the list, Mr. J. So who else you got up
so
there with this?
I definitely have to go with Snoop. Snoop is another one. Tupac definitely, because there are murals all around the world, even in Africa, of Tupac.
They still think
Um,
he's alive. He's the Black Elvis of music. So yeah.
yeah, he's in Cuba. He's in Cuba. Um, that's where I go, or where I'm going. If everything falls out, I'm going to Cuba.
I'll be in Costa Rica. Me and Paul will be having a bootleg pirate radio station in
Well,
Costa Rica. We're going,
let me throw another name out there since we're talking about movies. What about Ice Cube?
Yeah,
oh,
Ice Cube.
100%. Yeah, he's outside the realm of top five. He's definitely right there. And what a magnificent job he's done of transforming his image since one of the most dangerous black men in America. And I'm gonna tell you, they thought he was to being "Are We There Yet?" Part 17. My man Q.
I just dropped the album with E40 and Too Short and Snoop. Uh,
And Santa Claus and Grinch and President Trump and Biden. I mean, and he owns a basketball league. I mean, and a big suede Puma enthusiast, me and him. So I love him for that. Before I move on, I want to roundabout Looney. You got anything to add on this topic of the most famous rapper before we move wrap this topic?
Nah, man, y'all killing it, man. I really wasn't even thinking about Will Smith. That's why I was like, you know what? He's
Yeah, I
right. I
wasn't
said
That's a
he
either.
did
great,
start.
as a
I
fan.
said he did
That's
That's
start.
why we got
why.
Mr. J.
That's why he's Mr. J, bro. I hate to say that, but that's why he's here.
Yeah,
Uh,
I was like, this.
Paul, you got anything to add before we move on?
Nah, man, it's a lot of it's some famous motherfuckers right there, yo.
And of course, Mr. J.
yeah, man, it's a lot of powerful stuff going on. That shows you how powerful hip hop is.
All right, as we move on to topic number 4, gentlemen, raise your glass once more and live from Vietnam. Uh, here's to the city, the mighty, mighty 2-6. May it never steal your wallet. So the fourth one right here, you fucked that shot, up, didn't you, Mr. J? So we talk about Joe Budden and his, of course, beef with everyone in the world, but right here, the beef with J. Cole, where he has an issue that J. Cole softens up street rappers. So we're gonna go to Mr. J first, right here. Joe Budden v. J. Cole. What you think, big guy?
I think that he's outside of his mind. First and foremost, I think you stretch rappers and make them better MCs when you get on a track with a J. Cole. Like a Lil Durk, I'm not really checking for outside of this little feature, but it seems like when he got on him, got with that feature, he kind of stretched him a little bit. And every feature he does, he seems like he stretches the MCs he's with. He makes them have to step up their game and become fuller artists. They can't just sit back and phone in the same stuff they've been doing. So, I mean, a lot of what the only track I think I've heard him on where he kind of came back towards the artist is that one Gucci Man track that he did. That's the only one where I see him kind of come back towards Gucci Man a little bit, and Gucci Man didn't stretch as much. So, I mean, he's one of the
Well, Gucci Man would have fucked
Glenn.
around and pulled. Gucci Man would have fucked around and pulled a hamstring. No disrespect.
that they would have found out it really wasn't a clone. But like just four of the features that he's done that I really like, just all time. Rhapsody. It's a track called Sojourner. It's on the album Eve.
Oh man, go ahead. That's why. That's why I love you, bro.
And Benny the Butcher, Johnny P's Caddy. That's on Tana Talk
Yes.
4. That's one of my favorites. There's a
Mr.
joint
J
called
killing it.
Pray. That's on Game's album Jesus Peace. That's another one of my favorites. So I mean, everyone he's been on, especially the two of those are really serious hardcore rappers like Benny Butcher and Game. He made them have to stretch. Like, not that Game ain't nice. Not that Benny the Butcher is definitely not nice. Benny the Butcher is nice. That whole Griselda movement is nice. They got bars. It's not a game. But
Not a game.
it's he just makes a feature better. I don't know what he's talking about.
See,
I mean,
now I feel like Mr. J was like sitting on this like a 3-4 like a 3-0 fastball, dog. He was waiting on this shit. Go ahead, continue, Mr. J. Shit.
I just don't. I don't know.
Drink.
I think it's crazy. There's so many different features that he was on with Boz and Kaz and just numbers of other MCs. Those are two out of his collective, out of his clique. But I don't see what he means. Keep them. He said specifically like keep him away from the hardcore rappers. Some of the stuff.
Well, okay, yeah. No, so Latin Loonies, man. I mean, what do you feel like? Joe Budden comes out on his podcast and says that please stay away from the street rappers. J. Cole, you make them soft as baby shit. What do you say?
I really think, bro, this is like the third or fourth time this year I done heard Budden come out with some like real hateful, like I hate this dude right here kind of energy. You know what I'm saying? Like, and for no reason, like first it was Drake. Then it was this other kid. He's a new rapper to him. He a Christian rapper. I can't think of his name, but Budden was sitting there talking mad cash junk about him too. You know what I'm saying? But see, the funny thing to me is like I don't see what's wrong with getting a rapper and have him try to be a little bit more lyrical in his the way he spits on. Because put it this way, if I got J. Cole to hit me up and be like, okay, I need you to do a feature, I'm about to start shitting bricks because I can't come into a song with J. Cole and rap like I would come into a song and rap with Gucci or rap with Fujiano or rap with it, because the substance of what J. Cole speaks is way heavier than 95% of any other rapper out here.
So I don't want to interrupt you. I'm gonna come back to you. I do want to say this. That's a hip hop axiom. You are who you fuck with. The energy and the creativity. You're gonna play up or down to the competition. So I'm sorry, back you gonna keep that same train of thought.
No, yeah. So it's like you Budden is the kind of person to me that'll be like, okay, yeah, cool, all right. We all have our times when we want to listen to certain things, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, it doesn't mean that has to be the only thing you have to listen to. Sometimes I would like to hear something that would inspire me in a different way than to go try to kill somebody or shoot somebody or go snort some cocaine or fucking, you know what I'm saying? Just think about bitches or some shit. No, sometimes I want some intellectual substance to come into my mind, you know what I'm saying? And we need rappers like Cole. We need rappers like every time I get his name in my head, but the other guy that Budden was talking shit about, you know what I'm saying? Like it's different to hear somebody tell you the truth in a sincere way than to tell you the truth in a hateful way.
So before I go to Paul, I do want to say this. I agree with that. Once again, the only genre that pigeonholes itself in this way, rock and roll can make you do anything. It can make you smash something. It can make you love somebody. Same with every other genre. We the only genre that keeps ourselves in a pigeonhole. Mr. Masan, I'm really interested in your take on this Budden situation, bro. What do you think, bro?
I'm gonna throw on my marketing hat.
Here we go.
Why why is J. Cole, why is Kendrick, why has Drake been top three for over a decade? Well, they're not shoot 'em up, bang bang. They're not I sell dope, drink lean, pop pills, all that average shit. So if you're an artist, like we did promotion for Chief Keef for like 30 days. Like artists like that, they got a limited fan base because everybody don't want to shoot 'em up, bang bang. So if you're a shoot 'em up, bang bang kind of artist, and Lil Durk is kind of in that realm, and a lot of these cats, to Chicago rappers and whatnot, you go to a cat like J. Cole to tap
They have no
into
choice. They have to
a
go to
whole
they have
nother
to go to
fan
elementary
base.
school.
Yeah, you got to tap into that fan base. You know, like the more shoot 'em up, bang bang you are, the less white fan base you have in hip hop. That's the thing. J. Cole has got all the white fan base in the world, all Kendrick, Drake, and you got to tap into that by doing songs with him and getting the kids in the video and doing whatever, you know what I'm saying? And if it makes you more conscious as a rapper or as softer as Joe Budden says, well, we might need a little bit more of that. We might need a little
I
bit more of that.
appreciate
We need a
that.
little
I
bit.
appreciate that.
We need a little bit more conscious rap nowadays because it's very limited. It's like how much? Ooh, none, none.
Well, I love how it became conscious rap in the late '90s, but before the late '90s, it was just rap. Every rap had a message. That's what rap
Yeah.
was. We're gonna move on from that though. So it became rap. It was hip hop. It's now rap. But so my take on the situation really quickly is Joe Budden has made a career of keeping people down, putting people down, having a negative take on shit. This is for you, Joe. This is for pump me up. We're gonna have a segment next week on One Hit Wonders. I'm sure we'll talk about you again, bro. Uh,
Before we
I,
get to the next topic, let's run a quick little commercial break.
well, no, I want to talk about this. I haven't talked about this.
Okay, well
This
let's
is
get
I'm
into
not getting to the
commercial
next
break
time.
before we get
This
to the
is my
last topic. Then.
okay. I got you on your commercial break, but Big Face has to take too, Mister P. I've given you all
Okay.
your takes. Can I
Oh
have a
yeah,
take?
I got you. Yeah.
Yeah, don't make me get my goddamn nutsu cow out of this bitch. All right, so my take on this shit as Joe Budden is a hater from way back. Uh, so let's get real intimate with this subject. Street. Let's talk about street. You may not consider J. Cole a street artist because he graduated from the St. John's University. But let me tell you something. He barely fucking made it in there by the skin of his teeth out of here. And he's from a street city. And he understands the street. You can see and hear it in every song he's ever done. He understands the street. His ear is in the street. He rides a bicycle with no security and plays basketball. You have to understand the artist. Now he's at a point in his career where I want to reach out to motherfuckers that I understand and I'm a fuck with him. Like he said on the last track, NBA Youngboy, I still want to do one with him. Because he is purposely doing this shit. He said, I'm the IT man. When you need to connect, I jazz you up. So my take on it is Joe Budden, he's a bitch ass motherfucker, and you have been since that lame ass track. And you go both ways in life and everywhere else, from what I understand. So, and
And he
your
fucked
takes
up the
is
slaughterhouse
garbage.
shit. And he fucked up the
You
slaughterhouse
fucked
shit.
and you fucked up the slaughterhouse shit. I guarantee you fucked up the slaughterhouse shit.
Well, he admitted
By
it.
beefing
Yeah,
He
with
admitted
him.
it.
Yeah. Yeah.
He admitted it.
dumbass
Yeah.
motherfucker. All right, so we gonna get to topic number five, guys. And this is interesting right here because I wasn't aware of it until Paul put me on to that shit this week. So Daz Dillinger has come out and basically said that he has not got his due off the product, and that once the rights reverse back to him in 2027, he's not letting any more music go out until he's paid. So I want to start this with Paul because he's in this media marketing business every day with Promo Palace. Shout out to Promo Palace. Shout out to Dizzle. Shout out to everything Paul got going. Paul, what you think, man?
I gotta ask myself in this day and age, what royalties are you really expecting to get? I mean, Dre got 22 million monthly listeners.
I mean,
I
Chronic, he's
mean,
on 30% of the album. He's on 3 songs and 4 skits. So I mean, he's on 30% of one of the most
well,
iconic albums of all time.
Dr. Dre has a really nice catalog, and a lot of it's probably getting streamed. And
Jeweled by the Chronic, they probably gets
yeah,
like still gets 10 to 8, 12 million spins a quarter. He's probably still getting 50 to 100 million spins a year off that album and has been
okay, well,
in
let's figure
perpetuity.
that out. Well,
It's
let's
one of the
figure that
highest
out.
earning albums of all time. I want you
So
to know that it is.
you said what was those numbers again? Say those numbers again, so
The
we can figure
placement,
that out.
and that's not even the
For
placements.
Chronic,
That's not the
you said
placements.
like 10 million. You said like 10 million quarterly. Well,
No, I
that's only
said
like
50 to, okay, that 50 to 100 million spins a year for the past whatever since it started. And the placements, he still has amazing amounts of placements for that record. Overall, I did some research, man. He's still generating like a cottage industry off that record. So it's making several $1 million a year, just that record.
well, but
Just
if
that
you go
record.
off of just, but if you go off of streaming royalties, it's really only like 50
No, I
times
mean, I'm
4,000.
just saying across the board, the licensing
Yeah,
on the Chronic is still generating multi-million dollars a year now, 30 years later.
it
So,
probably
I
is.
mean, no, it is. I did the research. It is.
But does he own
They
all his
still got
masters too?
merch with that coming out.
Not
Who
just
owns
that,
the
it's the
masters
merge.
and, controls the royalties though? That's another thing. Does Dr. Dre own?
Dr. Dre owns those masters. He
Okay.
won them in litigation against Death Row. Now I'm going to get into this later, Paul. But go ahead. I will continue your take. I'm sorry, man. I
Well,
didn't mean to
I
interrupt you.
will say this. I will say this. Assuming that somebody ain't gonna pay you before they get a chance to pay you, is probably gonna fuck them up from paying you. So, that probably wasn't a good move. You know,
Yo,
like
Paul is from the hood, dog. Paul
This is
just told you
the
some hood shit. He just
this is the
moved all the
wildest shit
peanuts
I've
on
ever
you.
heard.
He was like, hey, Paul was like, we'll pay you when we pay you, but if you pay you, then I can't pay you. So that's how
yeah.
that works.
So I mean, I don't
So,
know. It ain't gonna go well now. I know that much.
all right, well, we're gonna go to Latin Looney, man. Latin Looney, what do you think, man? Daz Dillinger wants his money off the Chronic.
Man, I'm gonna have to go with what Paul said, man. Is that money even still there? You know, like is that money? I don't
That's
know.
not a hot take. That's not a hot take. That's not a hot take because the money is out there. He might knock on your door, Looney, in your black light room, and Daz Dillinger
How
may,
much
you
though?
know.
How much is really
That's
there?
the thing,
How
though. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
how
How
much
much
is
do you
really
think could
there?
be really there?
Well, I
Because
want okay. Well, what if he ain't got nothing, or what if he got paid 30 grand and now he says in 2027 I can make y'all stop playing this on every streaming platform. I can make you stop licensing the entire album because I'm on so much of it. They're gonna have to pay him. So I mean,
oh
so
yeah, of course.
I I don't want to get into it. I want to talk about so Looney, that okay. Looney mirrors Paul's take. Mr. J, the historian of the 2-6. What say you, my brethren?
I think the problem is we're talking about different, multiple different things. Because one, we're talking about rights as opposed to how they're distributed out. You're talking about streaming revenue, and then you're talking about also ghost writing or ghost producing, because there's some ghost production that he did on the Chronic that, of course, he didn't get paid for. But when you're coming into business, there's a number of producers that are big now or were big in the early 2000s. That was their foot in the door, was ghost producing. That's how they that's how they made their bread and butter. And then once they got a name for themselves and other people started getting placements for them, or they started getting placements for themselves, then
Well,
they got
that's how Snoop got his whole gang in the door, the LBC crew. That's all of them boys. So all of them work in ghost capacity, right?
yeah.
Yeah, all of them are on that album. Snoop, Corrupt,
Not only
Daz,
that album, they're on
RDX,
a lot. I'm gonna just say
DOC
this: the
wrote on there.
LBC crew,
DOC
which
wrote on
was
there.
which was Daz Dillinger, Snoop. He was part of that group. That was him and Daz and Corrupt. That was the group.
Yep.
They're actually all over that West Coast sound, not just their albums or Dre's album, but a couple other people's as well. Uh, my
Even
take
Warren
on it is
G's
this,
album.
guys. My take on it is RBX had the same issue. Hey, Paul, I appreciate you sending me. Paul sent me a dope ass article on this week, which I read, and then I followed up some leads on that. So RBX already had the same beef a few years ago, right? RBX got paid, y'all. RBX got paid and he shut up.
Mm.
So whatever RBX got paid, he's cool with it at this point. And like RBX said, they can be as famous as they want. We wrote the shit. You can take what you want. We wrote, they didn't write for me, I wrote for them. You feel me? So I think that him holding those cards and going out with this article in 2027, they're not going to want to deal with that. I don't care what anybody can have whatever take they want. Business wise, I'm a successful businessman with money to burn. I'm not wanting to deal with this in court, or I'm not wanting to take my. I'm going to go ahead and meet with him next week, and we're going to work this out. He's going to get his 4.7 million, whatever that is he wants, because it's worth way more than what you guys are putting the value on it. We all, so we're so used to hip hop working so hard and getting so little, we don't realize that once you make the echelon of making the money's deep, bro. The money's deep. Uh, does anybody have anything they'd like to add before we move on from Daz complaining and that Dr. Dre is P Diddy of the West Coast?
Yeah,
Well,
I
I don't
do.
think
It
it's
sounds like
okay.
Daz ain't getting enough show money. Sounds like Daz ain't getting enough show money.
I think
That's what it sounds like.
And
I
Paul,
think
that article may have gave him $2,000 more a night.
facts.
And us talking about it, throw on another 100, I guess.
At least
2,100.
$75, $40 in a
Extra,
blowjob
yeah,
between
yeah.
the dumpster
2,000 for the article,
Mm.
$75 extra for us talking about it.
and a blowjob
Here, live
outside
on
by the dumpster.
Fayettenam.
Just don't smell real loud. So all right, so the last and of course me, man. I love the city. The 2-6 is what I live for. My celebrities don't exist to me because all the celebrities is in my city. There's plenty of them here. We're gonna talk about the most famous rappers from the 2-6. Uh, and I'd love to start us off with our resident historian, Mr. J. Mr. J.
Yeah, man. Of course, we're gonna go with the obvious. J. Cole.
You have
We'll,
to.
we'll go down to Moray.
You have to.
I think Rain has some definitely has some reach
Has to
through the
be.
URL. Bomb
Not
Shelter
just that.
through well, Rain has some reach through the deal that I guess didn't necessarily work out with MMG, but Bomb Shelter, of course, through J. Cole, and I think there's a couple maybe surprises that people probably wouldn't think about. Um, Ronnie C. Ronnie C. has connections to J. Cole, and he has some albums of his own that kind of have some international reach.
He has
And
millions of streams, guys. Ronnie C has millions of streams
yeah,
on the internet.
yeah. And then Shamrock. Shamrock, of course, is from Ground Zero. They had the Fayettenam anthem back in the day. They did some joints with us and the Empire. He's got a joint coming up. Hopefully, fingers crossed, it's working out with Bone Thug, with one of the members of Bone Thugs and Harmony.
All right, well, Mr. J, as always, fucking fantastic goddamn take, Jay. Uh, I'm gonna go to our guest host this week, Mr. Latin Looney, man. Who the most famous rappers from the Ville for you? Because so while we all talking, all of us except for Latin Looney, we are artists from the past in the Ville. Latin Looney's still an artist currently in the Ville with some dope, a lot of dope content all over the internet. Dope music. He blends the reggaeton with the rap. The first rapper to do that from the 2-6 too, by the way, while we talking shit here. And he's done lots of shows. I've been to lots of his shows. So he does have credibility when it comes to this. Looney, who the most famous rappers from the Ville for you,
So J. Cole, Moray for sure. Um, three, I'm gonna have to go with YOLO Rule.
Oh
Uh,
yeah.
I
man? I gotta agree. I have to agree.
I I am a fan of
He,
YOLO
he,
Rule. Listen,
hey, he's three on my list too, just so you know. But go right ahead. But he's three on my list too. Go right ahead.
he up there. Four, I'm gonna have to say from that I know from the 2-6, I'm gonna have to go with Block Boy. Block Boy.
Okay, he
And
just
then
dropped
Are you talking
another.
about when you say Block Boy? Are you Block Boy or Block Baby Moolah?
Block Baby Moolah, yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Otherwise
Block Baby
known,
Moolah.
aka Shine Mac, Block Baby Moolah definitely
Yeah, most
has
deaf.
millions of streams as well, millions of streams.
And then five. Five. Hmm. Hmm. Five is kind of difficult. You know what? I would put what's his name? Juice God?
Mutate
Juice
God.
God.
Not familiar. Mutate
Juice
God.
God. No, Juice
I
God.
don't know who
I don't know who Juice
hey,
God is.
we don't know who Juice God is. So enlighten
Gary
us.
Stocks. Gary Stocks.
So
Yeah,
what? I mean,
he signed under
what do you got?
he signed under Master P.
Okay. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
okay. See,
Yep.
I mean,
Oh,
hey,
okay.
Mm-hmm.
see, and that's exactly why.
Y'all gotta check him out. Y'all gotta check him out.
Well, first of all, I'm gonna say this, Looney, man. I like your take. There's a dope take. It's a take we wouldn't have got, and I appreciate that shit. And so, but I want to go to, of course, my man Ebenezer's. Happy Christmas, Ebenezer Scrooge. My man, the MC Curmudgeon, Paul Masson.
The motherfucking one and only Paul Masson. All right, now for real.
Humbug, bitch.
All right,
Yeah,
number one, I got, of course, the obvious. We got J. Cole. You got
obvious.
Moray.
Cole. Yeah, yeah.
I gotta go with Rain as my number three for what he's accomplished. The Smack DVD, the mixtape shit through the years, the freestyling on the BET Awards a couple times. And then I gotta throw a couple other two more surprising names because they did a lot of mixtape shit and they known worldwide, and that's Big Caz and Low Keys.
Oh, shout out to
Okay.
Big Cass now. Big Cass and Little Keys, yeah.
And
Big
not
Caz
only
and Low
that,
Keys.
not only that, Low Keys is known worldwide because he's now the NWA
And now,
World
yeah, now
Heavyweight Champion.
Wow.
Named
That's what's
Fodder.
up.
His name is Psycho Boy Fodder. He's one half of Psycho Love. He is the NWA World Heavyweight Champion and one of the hottest independent wrestlers in the world. He will be on AEW. He will be in WWF one day. And that's Low Keys, dog. That's
That's
Low
what's
Keys,
up.
my guy.
I remember Little
Shout out,
Keys,
my
yeah.
guy. One of the great, and he's also a white rapper from the Ville. Thank you, man. Thank you, bro. Anyway, back to
yeah,
you, Paul.
so that's my top five. And I guess you could throw like Bomb Shelters in there as a group.
You
You
have to.
know,
R.I.P. Filthy Rich.
but, but they're not really known as individual rappers, I don't think, like worldwide. They're known more as a group.
Well, when you say famous Fayetteville rappers, I would assume we're talking A from the international all down to famous citywide. Is that your take, Paul? You good with that?
Yeah, I got Cole, Moray, Rain, Big Caz, and Low Keys. And
Oh
shouts
no,
out to my
dope,
man Big Caz.
dope take, dope take. So with me, I got like a top eight, and honorable mention shout out before I get started to Big Cass and Low Keys, because of course for me, unlike a lot of motherfuckers from the Ville, Big Face is known that I listen to this shit. Like I listen to hundreds and hundreds of artists from the Ville for years. I listen to local music. These motherfuckers is the celebrities to me. Um, Number one, of course, J. Cole. Let's get that out the way. I've known him since he was a therapist. I was there the first night he went on radio, right? I famously called him the rapist on the
I
Friday Night
gotta say,
Shockwave.
yeah, tell
Sorry,
everybody what do you call them? The rapist.
the rapist. Shout out to Big Frost, man. Fuck you, hey, Big. Tell him,
We
man. Fuck
love you,
him three
Cole.
times.
We love you, Cole.
The rapist is still a cooler name than therapist. Fuck Filthy Rich for naming him that because that was some gay shit. Okay, so J. Cole, we go back and he knows who Big Face is, but be sure. Shout out to you as your man. You're a dope individual. But so two for me is Rain 910. And let me get into why I think that over Moray. Rain Man has ghost written more shit than we'll ever be able to talk about. I'm gonna just tell you that.
Yeah,
He has
yeah.
produced some of the most fire music, music videos for the last decade. If you go on YouTube, go to Rain. If you haven't watched them, go to Rain 1910. Go all the way back and watch these videos. The dude is one of the dopest lyricists, and because he has more of an up north East Coast sound, he gets hated on. Dude deserves zero hate he gets in this city at all from anyone because he's gracious. I've run into him several times, and hip hop is a medium in favor we fuck with. Rain now and up, right? Slept on as a motherfucker, and that's not even talking about the year already, the battle shit, and all the fame from that. So, Rain. Number three for me is YOLO Root. More famous to me in the Ville than Moray. Yeah, Moray got the push. He got the Marshmallow Head management. YOLO Root did that shit from the ground up. And if you go on YouTube right now, go ahead and click on your shit. You'll see he has 700,000 views with him and Duke. I mean, he's still crushed it. He's been on tour with Future. He puts in work like a motherfucker. And so YOLO Root. Then here we go, man. So four, Nervous Wreck and Filthy Rich. Bomb Shelter, of course. Fame and Fable. Five, Rolling Weight. Six, nobody ever says this dude, but in the Ville, this dude really made a mark back in the day. Yada Man. Yada Man. He was everywhere. And I swear to God he was for a long period of time. Shout out to Yada Man. I don't know really what the fuck he's doing now, but and then seven for me, Fran D. And then eight, Blackwatch. And eight Blackwatch. I mean, these are cats that are famous in the city. Shout out to Blackwatch, who's moved on to Tubi movies. Go check him out, man. He's dope, man. These are dope artists right here in the city, celebrities, whatnot. Those to me are the most famous artists from the Ville. Anybody have any rebuttals before we cap this thing off, brother?
But are all these cats famous worldwide? That's the thing.
Well, no. Well, then if you're talking about
You
worldwide,
can't
the
just be
most famous
famous
artists
in
are.
the city. You got to be famous worldwide.
So then it's J. Cole, Moray, Yola Rue, and Eric Lottery, who is from
And
Fayetteville, lives in Charlotte, but RNG Golf now. He's on the PGA Tour. He's on ESPN. And so those are the most famous artists from the Ville.
and as you know, I'm a big Yola Rue fan. I'm always up Yola Rue. You know that. I just not educated on
Whether you
how
like his
famous he
music
is
or not, you
worldwide.
can't fuck with his
I'm just not
business. You
educated on
can't
how
fuck.
famous he is worldwide. That's the only thing. You know what I'm saying? And
Well, I would
we still
say,
gotta include across the pond as well. You know what I'm saying?
Well, in my
well,
opinion,
I'll
for him to
say
have
this.
a feature from Deuce
Cause
and what's her name? What's the girl he just did a song with?
So
Kayla
okay,
Mosley.
but we're splitting hairs. If we're talking about world famous artists from the Ville, there's only a handful of them. And Yola Rue with a 750,000 view YouTube video. Somebody in Belgium has watched that. I'm saying he's probably more famous than the next guy on the list. Is what I'm saying. If you're
yeah,
talking international
yeah.
fame from the city, guarantee you, everyone in independent music here knows him. They may not know Big Face. They may not know Paul Masson, but we all know Yola
Hey,
Rue.
I
So
tell you
there's
what,
that.
Paul Masson is easily top 10 worldwide in Fayetteville. I would argue that easily worldwide because I got mad mixtape features, I got German rapper features. And let me correct something. I just
Ain't
dropped a
nobody.
single.
I'm not
I
hating.
dropped a single this month. I dropped a single this month called Guess Who's Back. So, you know, I'm an active rapper too. So,
Just put another
like,
crease in your polo shirt. I got you, and I love you. You know, I ain't nothing but love for me for Paul Masson,
yeah, I
the
wouldn't say
resident
top 5,
curmudgeon
but
of life.
definitely top 10.
You there?
Definitely
You
top 10.
there? You are there. You're most famous to me because I need you tomorrow. We got to do them 2 interviews. Remember that tomorrow. So just to wrap it up, guys. First of all, Merry Christmas to everyone who's watching from all the Live from Fayettenam crew. Happy holidays, happy Kwanzaa, happy Hanukkah, whatever you may celebrate. We down with that shit. And a drink for y'all, for don't get stuck in the chimney and whatnot. Um, thank everyone. Thank Paul Masson. Thank you, Mr. J. Thank you, Matt Looney, for taking time out of your busy schedule. Uh, so make sure that I'm gonna give a chance now for everybody on the panel. Y'all give y'all shout outs. We'll go to Mr. J first. Mr. J, man, shout him out, man. Let him know what you got going on. I know you got the independent movie with the history of the 2-6. You got always got something going on.
Somebody
And
got
somebody at the
the
crib.
bell.
Is that pizza? I got pizza coming.
Chinese food. That's Chinese food's coming.
Oh hell yeah, yeah. Cream of some young guy. Watch out. So to you, Mr. J.
Underground Experience blog. Of course, since we're talking about Tubi movies, if you haven't seen Savage Genesis, I'm in it. Go check it out. It's on Tubi and Amazon Prime. One Heartbeat Away. That's my album. I released it last year. So features from MC Search, DMC, King Crooked, of course, Fat Boy, and a few others from around the state. Go pick it up. Go stream it. And the Underground Experience movie, we still got, film fundraiser going right now. Go to the website, www.empiremusic.com. Go check it out and see how you can be a part of it.
No doubt. As always, we'll be kicking the high gear on the crowd fundraising for that documentary. Yo, Paul Masson, man, I know that we got the Paul Pickett podcast, we got Promo Palace, we got Circle of Kings. Give us what you got going on. I don't even know how you got time
Let
to
me
be on
go.
live.
I got a whole list, so let me go last. I got a whole list of people.
Okay, no doubt. Okay, so all right, so we're gonna go to Latin Looney then to me. So Looney, what's up, bro? Closing comments?
Yeah, man, this was dope. I appreciate y'all having me, man. This was fire. But I gotta give a big old huge shout out to my team, man. That's born talented for sure, man. Y'all make sure y'all go check us out. Also talented.
Shout out to Oso, man. Very talented cat from the Ville. Shout out to Oso.
I know my boy Dominate's about to drop an album. Snipe just recorded a song. I just got a feature in with Oso and Snipe. So I'm about to drop here soon. If y'all haven't heard Supremo, y'all make sure y'all go check out Supremo. Supremo's out on all platforms. If y'all ain't seen Spin the Block, you know what I'm saying? It got me and my homie over here, you know. I don't know what side he on.
We in there. We in there
too. So y'all make sure y'all check us out on Tubi there too, man. Shout out to Barry Williams for that, man. That was a dope experience, man. Yeah, man. Huge shout out to my fans for sure, man. Everybody that be supporting, everybody that be there, listening to streaming. But yeah, man. And I appreciate y'all for sure, most definitely.
All right, man. Well, as always, Feliz Navidad to everybody, man. I hope you all get what you want for Christmas, man. I have huge shout outs for Circle of Kings. I want to give a shout out to all the fighters that helped make it possible. Of course, Paul Masson, man, my brother in this shit, for making this possible for me to be able to do this, man. It's been a huge year for me. Not only the Circle of Kings, but to be involved in Live for Fayettenam is dope. Man, shout out to Barry Williams tonight. You'll see during the Live for Fayettenam broadcast, we running the exclusive trailer for the new Tubi movie. Remind me, Mr. J. Every time I forget this. Every time I forget this. The new Tubi movie. Barry, I'm in the son of a bitch. Is what I'm saying. Excuse me. Why am I what? Why am I what? So shout out to Barry. We run the exclusive trailer. Uh, that's how it goes in this business. You can't remember the damn name of it. You're gonna see the name of it tonight. And shout out to everybody involved in Circle of Kings, man. It's huge. We get this increasing. Paul hits me every day with like, yo, we got 34,000 views the first 28 days of the channel. That's huge for us, man. And you know, Oh, by the way, the Barry Williams film we running that
Not
is
to be
not to
played
be
with.
played,
Not to be
not to
played
be
with. Yep.
played with.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Not to be
I'm
played with.
featured
Yep.
in that movie. We running the exclusive trailer tonight. As always, had a great time with y'all boys. Live from Fayettenam, a whole lot of shit, and we out, baby.
Let me apologize for the guys first. We're a little drunk, Barry Williams. That's why we forgot the name of the movie. As you know, we post two of the questions every week, and people will comment. So I want to shout out Dante, DJ, Hit Boy Valentine, Nicholas Manuel, Cedric Whitley, DJ Said, my dude from Myrtle Beach days, Cool Kev, Uncle Kenny commented, John Smith, my man OZ Chisholm, Deborah Morrissey. We got a comment from Ben Hustlin, Jamie Nicholson, my man Byron Brooks, Ike Paint a Lot, Calvin Guthrie, Tiffany Marie Ossett, Marcus Flowers, Mixmaster B-Side, Antoine Hill, Dan Levely, Brian DJ Boone. Shouts out to Mr. Jones. We forgot Mr. Jones. Sean Reeves,
Get well.
PJ. Shouts out to PJ. Cool All Day. Mutate God, Norman E. Bradley, Peyton Lucas, James Cabby, TJ Williams, my homie LeVar, my first friend when I moved back from Panama, Greg G, Monty Johnson, Carlton Beasley, and last but not least, Trilla Noise Tracks, who
Man,
produced the
definitely chilling on
outro.
the tracks for the dope, dope
Who
intro.
produced the outro.
Dope.
So that's
Shout
it.
out to the dude
Anything
that
else,
put the star
fellas?
to my, shout out to the dude that put the star to my jock straps. Big up to you, bro.
Uh, Merry Christmas and Feliz Navidad. Live from Fayettenam. We out. Peace.
Beats by Trill, straight Killerville, dog.